back to Lex Reads. So in today's video, we are going to be doing my January wrap up. So I actually had a really good January when it came to books. And you guys know, I always like to include movies and music. And I actually had, you know what, it was a really good month. I took my time, I eased into it. So I didn't watch a lot of movies, nor didn't really listen to a lot of music, but they were of quality. So that's all that matters. So yeah, let's just get started. So for the books, I read 3 books in the month of January. And the first one was Donna Hill, An Ordinary Woman. I actually did a reading vlog on this, so check it out. I'll put it down below. Y'all know I fell in love with Donna Hill last year after I read Rhythms by her, and she just can write. She gives you the feel of a Terry McMillan, Bernice McFadden, that type of dialogue, that type of things of books. This is dealing with 3 main characters. You have Lisa, Asha, and Ross, and Lisa and Asha have been best friends since they were kids, and Lisa is now getting married. She's actually married to Ross, and they have had doubts from the chapel, okay? And you just see basically how it goes in each one's relationships. You see each one's perspectives on their relationships, on their lives, on their professional lives, all of it. This so good. I will be reading more Donna Hill books. That's all I gotta say. Next, girl, I read for the 3rd time Yellow Wife by Sadiko Johnson. I'm just fangirling over Sadiko Johnson in general. And when it comes to the Yellow Wife, oh girl, like I don't have no sense when it comes to this book. This book is just so good. Y'all look, you see I got it displayed right here. This is my copy that I annotated. I re-annotated it and I changed the tabs because y'all know I like it to match. Then I went out and got a paperback version of it. And every time when I get done reading this book, I go right back to the first page and read it again. I just go back. I have never had a feeling about a book like this. I mean, even my favorite book of all times is Bernice McFadden, Praise Song for the Butterfly. And I don't even have that feeling like I have it with this book. It's so odd. Girl, and this book, it's about slavery. So it's heavy. But I think what I like about it is it's not a typical slave story. Also, another thing I like that she talks about is the missus of the house being involved with Black male slaves, because it just wasn't the males, you know, the slave owners going after the enslaved people. You had those wives, they was getting it on with those slave men, and they would say, oh, they raped me or all that. And I like the way she explored that in this book. So this book, I cannot rave over it in like 2 days. What is it, 2 days, a day and a half? Her new book's coming out. I'm getting it. That's all I gotta say. And then the last book that I read is Eric Jerome Dickey Pleasure, which I also have a reading blog on it, and I will link it down below. If I'm being honest, it was good, but my mindset when I read it, I was still hooked on this. But I don't know if I'm going to continue with this series. It's a 3-book series, so it's not a lot. I mean, I have 2 more to go, but it's just not, it's not getting to me. It's not doing anything for me. It's like I like it, but at the same time, I'm not interested. That's the thing, because Eric Jerome Dickey, he can write like nobody's business. That dialogue, the storylines, it's just everything. You have the main character, Nia. She is a independent, you know, woman, independent spirited woman. And she is like, look, I want to explore my sexuality in every realm, you know, and everything that I can just do, I want to do it. And she does it. It's like some stuff that go down in this book. I'm like, Eric, where did you get that? How did you come up with that? People doing that? Have you done that? You just question. It's everything in your mind is just like questions. And this is classified as erotica. So you already know. Eroticas, they just do, whoo, girl. It's undescribable, and that's what this book is. But I might check. Well, I told you guys that I'm focusing on 3 series this year, and I started with this one. I don't know if I'm going to finish this series. I am going to try to read the second one. I'm going to give the second one a try. And if I don't like it, I'm going to just cut this series. And I think I'm going to go back to some of his old books. I know I have not read of his. This is my Eric Jerome Dickey section. Next, I know what I really want to read by his is Friends and Lovers. And I think, doesn't he have a book called Sister, Sister? I need to get that. But I want to start out with his old, go back to like his old works, because Milk and My Coffee is one of my favorites. Geneva, one of my favorites. So yeah, but yeah, girl. So yeah, that is all the books that I read this month. Okay, movies. I only watched one movie this month, and it was a movie that I hadn't seen in years. I actually own it, so I, you know, got on my little DVDs. And I watched a movie called Philomena. And this actually is based on a woman named Philomena Lee. And Philomena, she got pregnant at 18, I believe. And she is Irish. And her mother has died. And her father's like, you know, you're not married. You had this baby. So he sends her to a, it's like a, a parish ran by nuns. In order for them to live there, they have to work, and they work in like laundry, basically mats, and you know, they do ironing and all that, and it's like manual labor to the fullest. And they only have 1 hour to see their children, and everyone, all of the women that live in this housing area, they're all single women, single young women that have, you know, obviously had babies and they're not married. And back in the day, a lot of the adoption process, they were actually selling the children, and they would not let the mothers know. And that's what happened to Philomena. One day she was, you know, doing her work, and her baby got adopted and was sold off, and she didn't give any permission, anything like that. But how they got them is they made them sign non-disclosures and contracts, and you know, they just signed them, and they really weren't reading them in detail. And of course they weren't telling them they go eventually sell, you know, their children. But that's the basis of the story. And throughout the whole movie, she is seeing if she can locate Anthony, which is her son, and she ends up getting the help of a reporter. And actually, like I said, it's a true story. It's based on a book. And when I tell you it was so good, you have Judi Dench playing Philomena. It's amazing. I will link down some interviews. Actually, an interview that Myrna Vieira, you remember she used to be on The View, and she used to also have a talk show back in the day. I will link down that video if I can find it. Philomena talking about it. And when I tell you, it just was amazing. And I ended up looking up, there were a lot of like famous like Hollywood stars that actually bought, you know, bought their children. I know one in particular was Jane Russell. She's known, only movie I know her from was what? Blondes. Oh, what's the movie with her and Marilyn Monroe? That's the only movie I kind of like of Marilyn Monroe. Side note, I'm not a Marilyn Monroe fan. Girl, Dorothy Dandridge all the way. But I digress. But yeah, that she's in that movie. But Jane Russell, the actress, she actually did that. We all know the famous story of Joan Crawford and, you know, her daughter and things like that. So yeah, guys, again, I urge you to watch that movie and, you know, do a little bit of research. But yeah, guys, watch that movie, because when I tell you it's so good. Oh girl, you have Judi Dench. I mean, come on now, it's Judi Dench. So yeah, that was the only movie that I watched. Okay, for the music, only thing that I listened to, I listened to a whole body of work. You guys know I love to do that. And that was Miss Kelly Price. And I listened to the first album of hers, which is Soul of a Woman. Unbelievable. You do not want to sing after Kelly Price, okay? That is real R&B music. Now, I grew up listening to Kelly Price, known Kelly Price, okay? But I wanted to listen to that album because I saw a interview, I was looking through TikTok, And you know, back in the day in the 90s, they used to do like a slow version of a song, and then they would do like a fast version. They would do like remixes, right? The video was talking about celebrities meeting Whitney Houston for the first time and how just nice and genuine she was. And she told her the story of how she became aware of her music. She said Whitney was driving down the highway, and the song, a friend of mine, the fast version, I believe that's the original version, came on. And you know, when you hear that song, it starts off slowly, and then the, you know, kick back, the drums just come, you know, it hits you hard. She said, Whitney said she had to stop the car, pull over, and listen to the whole song. And she said, oh, this girl, this church. And Kelly Price is from the church. So when she told that story, I said, let me listen to that song. And girl, was outdone, because again, I hadn't heard it in so long. I've heard that song clearly, but it had been some years, and I'm like, oh my goodness, whoo. That's how it makes you feel. And then I'm like, you know what, I need to listen to that first album, because I've never listened to a body of work of Kelly Price, only listened to just, you know, some singles. So I listened to that album. Unbelievable. Of course, Soul of a Woman. I also love the interludes. If you guys are like true 90s fans, especially true R&B fans, you guys know back in the day they used to do those interludes. Who is notorious for doing that is Faith Evans. Girl, she need to do a whole album with just her interludes. But with Kelly Price, the Soul of a Woman, the songs I like on that album is, oh, what do I like? I like the intro to Healing of My Soul. I love, obviously, Friend of Mine, the remix and the slow version. What's the other one that I like? I think it's called She. I think I'll put it up on the screen. But that, I love that song. And then again, I love the interlude. So I think I'm probably going to, I know I'm actually going to listen to her second album. I'm probably going to go just her whole catalog. Because I mean, come on now, it's Kelly Price. So yeah, guys, that is everything that I read, listened to, and watched. Again, I had a really good month. It was slow. I took it real slowly, but I had some good reads, some good movies, some good music. Yeah, guys, that is it. Also, tell me, are you guys liking Fly Girl? I started it on the 1st. You guys know our book club. It's not too late to join. I'm also really soon, I'm going to send you guys out, the people that emailed me, sent me their emails. I'm going to send you guys out a good time that you will want to do the Zoom discussion. I know it's going to be on a Sunday. It's going to be on the 26th. I just need a time frame. So I am going to send you guys that email really soon, you know, and we'll confirm which time, and we'll just go from there. But tell me if you guys are really liking it, or have you started it? Because right now I'm really liking it. I cannot wait for our discussion. I'm liking it, girl. Oh, I'm loving this. And it's not too late to join. You guys can email me if you guys want to join. Again, description box. My email's always in the description box. So yeah, guys, that's it. And I'll be back with more Black Books. Bye.